The TV series is related to Merritt Lingard, who was kidnapped by someone 4 years before because she was working on a murder case. Episode 1 of Dept Q begins with a crime scene being examined by officers. However, things soon take a turn for the worst when a masked man arrives and shoots all of them. DCI Carl Mork is among them, and as the killer looks over him, Carl loses consciousness. Elsewhere, we meet a prosecutor called Merritt Lingard. She's right in the midst of handling the case involving a husband on trial for killing his wife. The evidence is quite substantial against him. Merritt is overly emotional and hot-headed. Other friends suggested her that it's all clear about Finch that he threw his wife down the stair. His counsel just sat there, kept quiet. Finch also noticed it. Maybe it didn't object. Because it's relevant. Relevant and admissible are two different things. It depends on how hears it. Jury heard it, that he loves his wife. I was supposed to show you the ropes, not help you to hand yourself with them. It's not your fault. Yes, I know. It's all about the performance. Finch is full of shite. The man should win the BAFTA. Nearly had me in tears. Merritt walks right into the trap of allowing Finch to empathize with the jury, convincing them that he's innocent. Another team member also told her that he's not wrong. He's still raging that you gave me this case, not him. But still, you go too far sometimes. And today was the perfect example. Then they talk about the evidence, and he said how you will convince them that the man in the box is murderer. When jury will be alone in the room, then I'll discuss the facts of the case. No one know that what jury will do, and how you'll expect that you're right. Join me on a drink, then we'll further discuss it to get idea to handle this case. However, he's still alive. Carl reached the police station and survives this near-fatal incident. Investigation about the case was in progress. That officer told her the statement of one witness, Caroline Kerr. He told them that he was walking through the Leith Park near the house number 226. When he saw one black clothing man entered from the back door to the flat number 226. After 5 minutes later, he exited the flat and walked to the blue compact car. This was the statement 4 months ago. I have to think about that. I was not sure that it was the same flat. His fellow officer, Hardy, is also still alive, but he's paralyzed and in hospital for the foreseeable future. And one policeman is dead. If someone threatened you to change your statement, then told us we'll protect you. He said you saw a man. She said, I'm sorry. I didn't. Back at the station, Carl turns heads when he rocks up ready to return to work. He trades banter with a fiery redhead called Rose before ripping into the officers on his case, given they have no evidence and no witnesses, despite having one that's changed their statement at the last second. He asked them, did you see the shooter? He said no. Now I'm back and we'll just start over. Carl again watched the CCTV footage deeply, how they were shot by killer during investigation. Carl looks at all the evidence they've got so far and scrutinizes their ineptitude. He immediately points out a McDonald's cup under one of the car's wheels, demanding they check the CCTV footage from the nearby McDonald's to see if they catch a break with the killer. Why did he stay there? The shooter was watching to see who showed up. Our theory is that there's 2 different crimes, one shooting and one stabbing. That's mean 2 separate crimes you didn't see at the same time. So focus on the shooter and also focus on what he did that day. And check the CCTV of McDonald's. While this is going on, the cabinet secretary is proposing setting up a new department to look into more similar cases. Superintendent Moira Jacobson is the one running things here, and she's quick to shoot the proposal down. They're stretched thin as it is, with barely enough manpower to cover the cases they do have. However, when she finds out that the department will have its own budget and full control over which cases to be chosen, it certainly piques her interest. Merritt also has a brother, William, who's disabled and is looked after by a carer called Claire while she's not there. She received some texts and email from someone threatening her. Rose brings Akram down, a man who works part-time in IT but wants to move into their department. But Officer Moira ignored him totally. And the man she's thinking of bringing into this? Yep, it's Carl. He's going to be investigating cold cases from all over the country, but he's not particularly happy about it. She offered him anything which he needs, like lawyers, office. He demands a car, because he always travels in bus. Then she told him about the deputy chief constable, that I'll inform him that you're on the board. The office is in the downstairs basement, and when he visited the basement, the place is a complete mess. It's clear now that Moira is using the allocated funds for this new department to beef up the main office, all whilst finding a place to relegate Carl away from the others. He's not stupid and understands what's happening here, but he also needs a secretary to help sift through all the files. He wants Rose to help, but instead, the other side, court has announced its decision of the Finch case. Merritt does not give any solid proof against Finch, so Finch is discharged from the dock. She lost the case and took a taxi and moved away. Along with failing the case, Merritt continues to be haunted by the ghosts of her past, stemming from emails and texts she's receiving from someone threatening her. Akram Salim was finalized for Carl's assistant. Carl said there's a mess, and after cleaning it, bring a new computer and TV from Stair. She went to home. There she saw her brother that was missing their parents. She decided to go for trip. Funnily enough, Akram has a fair amount in common with Carl. He's confident, intelligent, and he's read through many of these cold cases. He used to be a police officer back in Syria, so he's well equipped to handle tough cases, and he could be just what Carl needs to make a dent here. He said, "You've to solve all these cases." I don't know. Read them and select one of them. Spooked by one of her more recent messages, Merritt decides to pack up her stuff and head off with William on a trip together. Unfortunately, she receives a text while on the boat together, telling her she can't hide. Akram sifts through and finds a case they can use. This case happens to be Merritt Lingard's disappearance. Carl brings him on board. The last place she was found was on that boat we saw earlier on, and we cleverly learn now that these are two different timelines. It's here we learn that she went missing 4 years back. She's dead. Akram said no, she's alive. In reality, Merritt is still alive, but she's being kept captive in a steel pressurized tank somewhere secluded.